We've been waiting for it. Here is Super Mario Brothers Warpless by Woo! Wow, I'm rolling right ahead past its words. By SuperSonic. That is a lot of supers, and this run is going to be just as super. So, let's go!
Alrighty, well, hello everybody. My name is SuperSonic. I am also a Mario runner, even though I am called SuperSonic. And yes, that is totally not confusing whatsoever. Also, this is very not confusing either, because we see Mario stuck inside the flagpole right now, and he's just kind of walking there because we're soft locked currently. But we're not going to be doing that. We're actually going to be playing through every single level in this game, since we are doing Warpless. So time is going to start once I gain control of Mario. So we will go in 3, 2, 1, and go.
Good luck.
Yeah, thank you. Alright, so 1-1. I'm sure a lot of us know this level if we have played Mario 1 before. But instead of seeing the whole level, we're just going to take this shortcut warp here. Although we do call this category Warpless, but that is just a shortcut. It's not like warping to another world or anything like that. So this is totally fine to go inside that warp. So we did grab the mushroom right now, because we're going to be doing the 1-1 and 1-2 power-up route, in which we can get the Fire Flower pretty early, and we're going to try to retain Fire Flower as much as possible in this run, because there's like so many different ways to like lose it. So we're just going to go ahead and get this Fire Flower here. And now we have the Fire Flower, the Firepower, and we can shoot 2 fireballs at a time on screen. And there is a sprite limit in this game. You can have, I believe it's up to 5 enemy sprites on screen loaded, and then it'll just despawn whichever next enemy is coming up on screen. And just like that, we are done with 1-2. Alright, so 1-3. Normally, like in actual runs, we would get the power-ups at 1-3 and 1-4, but since we are doing the earlier power-up route, we don't have to worry about those power-ups there. This is pretty much just strictly platforming. You could do some glitches in this game, like flagpole glitch, in which you can clip inside the block and grab the flagpole and doesn't make the flag go down. There are specific setups to do that, so I'll try to go for some of them later in the run. But the main reason why we have the Fire Flower is because we need to shoot down Bowser. And Bowser takes 5 fireballs to get rid of him. And by doing that, it'll actually eliminate the bridge collapse animation. So you can kind of see, like, right as I grab the axe, the bridge does not collapse, and that saves about 2.5 seconds. So yeah, we are done with World 1. Now heading into World 2. Yeah, this is a pretty straightforward game. We're pretty much moving right the entire time, except for maybe 1 or 2 sections where we have to go left. But we will be seeing that towards the end of the game, so... But for the time being, we will pretty much fireball anything that's in our way. And then try to avoid the 6 on the timer. So, speaking of the timer, if you get a 1, 3, or a 6 at the end of your timer, that'll give you 1, 3, or 6 fireworks respectively. 1 firework doesn't really waste any time, because there will be some instances where we will be grabbing the flagpole and there's like 1 on the timer. And if you get a 3, it wastes about a second, and then if you get 6, it wastes close to 2 seconds. So here we are in 2-2 as our first water level. And now we're going to see some cheeps and bloopers. We're going to try to avoid them as best as we can. If we end up shooting them down, that could actually change the spawn patterns for, like, towards the end of the level. And this will also be the case in 7-2. But for the time being, we're actually pretty fine on there. Didn't bonk the corner, which is good. Alright. So that is 2-2 there. And now in 2-3, we'll try to go for flagpole glitch on this level. I guess that's another thing to mention is about frame rules. Frame rules is 21 frames or 0.35 seconds. and the analogy of the bus has been overused quite a bit, but it is probably like the simplest way to remember like how frame rules work. Also, I got a really bad setup there. So what I tried to do there is I needed to jump on the third step, and I have to do some button inputs to make Mario just slow down just a tad bit, and then he would have like good subpixels to kind of clip inside the block and then be able to grab the flagpole that way. There are a couple more opportunities to grab that, so we'll try again in a future level here. But here we are in 2-4. Quickly shoot down Bowser to get rid of him. And that's 2 worlds down. We got 6 more to go. Alright, World 3. This is actually a pretty nice night level. One of my favorite worlds too, actually, in this game, because of like how it looks. Like, I like the night aesthetic for this. The day aesthetic is pretty nice too, but I feel like the night gives it a little more pop into the scenery and everything.
So this is just an aesthetic, just like a day or a night look, but it doesn't really affect anything in the game?
No, it does not. Yeah, it's just
But it just looks really heckin' cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it doesn't really alter the game in any way. It's all pretty straightforward. Like, they usually change the palettes in the All-Stars version, but it doesn't really affect the game in any way. Also, I did that, I did the fireball shots in a particular way. We usually thank Goofy Chocobo for that, because he was the one that actually found a strat in which you can despawn a Goomba at the end. Possibly 2 Goombas, if you're lucky. But it kind of plays along with the tune of the music. So we usually thank Goofy Chocobo for that. So shout outs to Goofy. Also, that fireball went over the Koopa there. That usually never happens, but... So now that is actually going to alter my patterns, because I was mentioning about the frame rules earlier. So regarding the frame rules, and we got a 3, so we're going to get 3 fireworks here. So depending on when you end the level, that'll pretty much determine what kind of patterns you get in the next one. And it usually applies to the castle levels as well as the water levels. But in the other levels, it doesn't really make much of a difference, but the castles, mostly because of the fire bars here and then the Podoboos, as well as Bowser's behavior as well, because he has 3 different movements. He'll either jump forward, jump backwards, or do a change direction. So like there, he'd jump backwards, which is actually the ideal pattern you want to have, so that'll actually make shooting the fireballs a little easier. If you get a forward jump for Bowser, that can be fine too, but if he gives you change direction, you can just kind of bump into the platform and just kind of shoot the fireballs that way. And now that we're in 4-1, this is probably a good time to read some donations if you have any.
Sure thing. Actually, at the start of the run, I did mention our previous runner, Lord Fluffy, sent in a $5 donation. I did not mention the comment at the time, and that's because they say, "Thanks for having me, fast-paced events. I'm always happy to support causes for mental health. Good luck, SuperSonic. Knock this Mario run out of the park." And you are doing a fantastic job at that, SuperSonic.
Yeah, thank you very much. Also, shout outs to Lord Fluffy for that incredible Titanfall run. And some pretty good voice acting as well.
Oh yes, that was a treat.
So here we are in 4-2. This is actually my favorite level in the game. It is infamously known for the wrong warp here, but since we're not doing any warps in this category, we're actually taking the bottom route here, in which bottom route is best route. But you could actually take the top route as well, and it doesn't really waste any time. It's just really easy and really boring. So try to show off a little bit. At least to go into the bottom route. Alright, so 4-3. We're gonna see a lot of mushroom platforms here. This is the only level that has this, but obviously there isn't really anything else that's going on with it. But for this particular level, I'm gonna try to make sure I don't bonk anywhere, because we're trying to set up a thing called Sky Boots, and I totally failed it. Maybe I got it. Let's see. So Sky Boots is basically a pixel of sky underneath Mario's boot, and if I did this correctly, the screen transition will be a little quicker, but that actually looked a little slow, so That actually saves a frame roll that way. But now that we're in 4-4, see if we can get a... try to go for a clip there. There's actually a corner clip you can do instead of having to do the up and around movement there. But since this is a maze castle, the first section we have to go up, and then on the second section we have to go down, which is why we have to kind of wrap around it. Also, Bowser wasn't being very kind, and we had like a Podoboo to deal with as well, so it can potentially block our fireball shots there. But that is halfway through the game already, if you can believe it.
Can I ask, you mentioned earlier that how you enter the castle affects the cycles, right? Does that change like the maze at all?
No, it doesn't. The maze stays the same. It's only the enemy patterns that are influenced by the frame rule system.
Ah.
Yeah, but the maze patterns for like 4-4 and 7-4, they don't change. Like they stay the same.
So you know that's solid, and that's a controllable factor every time.
Yeah. So here on 5-2, I was gonna try to avoid the bullet bill there, but fortunately it got me. And the hammer bro decided to jump right when I was about to jump over it. But if I manage to not get hit here... Okay, I actually got favorable patterns there, so we can actually grab our power-ups back up. Luckily in this level there are plenty of power-ups to grab, so... if you end up like losing your power-up at any point, you can just grab them back. Also, you kind of notice that I clipped inside the block. But that's actually a unique mechanic in which when you're standing on the half side of a block, you can actually tap right for a frame, and while you're jumping, you can actually clip inside the block and grab the power-up faster that way, without having to wait for the power-up animation to complete. So here we are in 5-3. This is basically a carbon copy of 1-3, except we got bullet bills and we got shorter platforms, more enemies. And this also has to deal with the frame rule system as well, because those bullet bill shots, they're completely random. They can pretty much appear in any direction. So now we're heading into 5-4. This is basically 2-4, just with more firebars and Podoboos, and we just kind of wait there a little bit just to get these good firebar patterns. And we do a duck jump to kind of avoid those. Oh! Hit the flame at a really bad spot there. So here's an example of what you see. Like if I don't have the fire flower and I grab the axe, you see the bridge collapse happen. That is 2.5 seconds lost right there, which is why it's actually really important to have the fire flower for this. Alright, so now we're in 6-1. Luckily there are a couple of power-ups here that I somehow hit the block and then I just went straight into the pit. That doesn't happen at all, but that's fine. Oh well. No biggie, we can just do it again. What I was trying to do is grab it like that. Also a very interesting thing, like during the power-up animation, if you hold the jump button, he can actually jump buffer out of the power-up animation. It does help in few instances, but not all the time. And now we are back, fully powered up again. And 6-2, this is actually one level I always recommend to any runner that is wanting to get into this game, especially with Fire Flower, because this gives you an opportunity to do some target practice. Because there's a lot of piranha plants in this level. So like you try to understand like the trajectory of the fireball, like when to shoot the fireball. You'll kind of notice like if I'm when I'm in the air, like while I'm ascending, I shoot the fireball, and I got hit and I lost my fireball. Gonna be careful here so I don't get hit, and avoid the 6 as well.
That was smooth.
It was a little bit shaky once I lost the fire flower there, but
yeah, but then when you just jumped around.
Yeah.
to avoid getting hit, I'm on the edge of my seat here. I gotta let you know.
Yeah, usually I tend to scare people when I play this game because of the things that I do, and when people play this, like if they play this when they were kids or if they played it recently or something like that, like they never really see gameplay like this. So it's always like an exciting factor. Like it's a pretty fun speedrun, like, even though it's like, you know, just holding right the entire way mostly.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think I ever managed to finish Mario.
Oh, really?
Oh no.
I tried to go for a duck jump there to avoid the Podoboo and then land on the ledge, but that didn't quite happen.
I have notoriously poor timing at jumps, so I happen to do a lot of what you just did there, but less cool.
It happens. I mean, I'll be completely honest. I haven't really been playing this game that much, but it's like for me, whenever I pick this game up after like a long hiatus or something like that, my memory just instantly comes back. And then even though like mistakes happen here and there, but this is like the one game that I played so much when I was young, as well as speedrunning. Like this is like my first speed game back in 2016. So a lot of years of experience playing this game, both casually and speedrunning. Also, that was a little scary, but we're fine. There we go, just avoid the Hammer Brothers, that's pretty good. Also, that is the most expensive Buzzy Beetle in which I still got hit by it. I've been losing my power-ups a lot in this run.
Well, we have another donation here wishing you and the rest of the runners in the SMB block luck. So when you've got time, I can sit that in.
You can go for it right now.
All right, Alice Rajasu, who you heard on Host earlier, who you saw running Set Beasts earlier in the marathon as well. I gotta give that. Love the community love here. Says, I'm a minute late for the Lunistis hype train, but I got my copy, and here's my $5 for Take This. Thanks to everyone who has made this event a blast, and best of luck to the runners for SMB, 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 and BRC. Thank you so much, Rajasu.
Yeah, we do have a Super Monkey Ball, which is another like SMB acronym. So I'm gonna take a shot at it. Okay, there we go. That blooper was really close to hitting me, but it is a very tight window to get past that. Usually we usually call that the bad blooper, or the bad bloop rather. Sometimes we can end up getting hit and it is not a fun time whenever that happens, but thankfully I just barely got through it with just pixels to spare. Now here we are in 7-3, but since we're small, oh god, that the Cheeps almost got me there. What was I saying? Oh yeah, since we're small. I can only get the mushroom here, and there isn't any other power-ups until 8-2. So we're gonna have to stay big until 8-2 to re-grab our fire flower here.
Oh dear, please chat, send in your donations wishing him luck. That's !donate, because I have my fingers crossed for SuperSonic right now, and I'm sure you all do too, even though he's amazing at this game.
Yeah, so we have our second maze level, so the order for the first section is bottom, middle, top, and then the second section is top, middle, top. That'll bring us to Bowser here. Also something I didn't mention, that he throws hammers starting in World 6. And since there are a lot of hammers on screen, their hitboxes are actually very different. They're actually in a group, so even when you shoot fireballs, it does create a lot of lag when that happens. But since we don't have Fire Flower, we don't have to worry about that. And here we are in World 8, the final world of the game. And now we have 8-1, which is probably the longest level of the game. Gonna do a thing called pipe jumps there, and just kind of jump on the corner of the pipes. That's because the Piranha Plant hitboxes are actually at the stem, but they did change that in the All-Stars version, where the entire like bulb area is the hitbox. That was a short jump there. Now here's the bad thing about World 8. If you end up dying anywhere, that'll actually take you back to the beginning of the level, because there are no checkpoints in this one. So now we are on our last life, but we're gonna go for it here, because why not? But we're not gonna do any pipe jumps this time. Especially now that we're small and we're not gonna be getting any power-ups until 8-2.
You got this. I believe in you.
Thank you. Just gonna do a little bit of a wait there, just to let the piranha plants go back down. Actually, we can get a 1-up right here, because we have just the right amount of coins to get a 1-up. Okay, just jump over that. Okay, no piranha plant there. That's good. Alright, so we're actually okay right now since we have 2 lives this time. So we don't need to panic. Okay, just jump underneath those Koopas there. I will be grabbing the mushroom for safety, which is right here. They do that jump buffer like I mentioned earlier. To kind of get on the platform there. Gonna do bonk, brush, boing. That was a really high bounce there. I'm gonna... Actually, will this work? Ah, I tried to go for a thing called bullet bill glitch, but my positioning was just way off on it. So the bullet bill glitch, what it does is if you were to hit the bullet bill right before the block of the flagpole, you'll actually make the game complete the level right away rather than having to go inside the castle. That actually saves 2 frame rules instead of 1. Okay, now we're gonna get our fire flower back. There we go. Alright, back to our fire state here. Okay, we're just gonna get rid of the... Well, I guess that guy wanted to jump, so that's okay. He was spared. Alright, now we're heading into the final level of the game, 8-4. Also, just a heads up, time will be when I grab the axe. We still got a few rooms, so plenty of time. So 8-4, this level in particular, it's a maze level as well, but this time we have to go through pipes. This is the first pipe we got to go to. This is the wall jump room. We're gonna see if we can get a setup for the 2-frame wall jump. Ah, we got the pixel, but we weren't... Just barely missed the wall jump there. Alright, now this is the wrong warp area. We're gonna go into this pipe here. That's probably the only time we actually go left for like a little bit. Because there's like a trigger in which it'll take you to this area here. Also, you may notice that I just went through the fire bar there. The way how that worked was I crouched in the water section and then I swam. Also, this is time right there.
GG! Oh my gosh!
Yeah, that was a roller coaster of a run. But that right there is Super Mario Bros. Warpless on the Nintendo Entertainment System. And yes, I am also playing on the original NES controller. I am actually playing on a AV Famicom, which is the Japanese Nintendo. So, but yeah, also I want to say thank you to the Fast-Paced staff for allowing me to showcase this run. So thank you, Zoku, for being the host for this.
Oh no, I appreciate fast-paced events for letting me be on the front row for this because SuperSonic, that was amazing! And please, if people want to see more of what you do, where can they find you? What other shoutouts do you have for us?
So you can find me at twitch.tv/supersonic_. There's actually another SuperSonic out there that has that name, so I have an underscore at the end of mine. And you can see me stream Monday through Friday on Twitch. I usually do speedruns for the majority of the time, and I also do some casual content on YouTube with my friend Japsy Man. We do a thing called Switch Saturdays, in which we play co-op games together, mostly Monster Hunter on Switch. And yeah, huge shout outs to the Mario community, everybody that's been watching. So keep on donating towards the cause. It's a great charity. And again, thanks for having me, and we'll send it off to the next run.
All right, well, thank you so much. And chat, you heard him. Please keep on donating to this fantastic charity. We'll be right back with more SMB. That's right, we're saying SMB because you have reached the SMB block.